go. The microphone is on. Welcome everyone. Glad to have you all on board today. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you are watching VolcanoX live stream. Glad to have you here. And let's see, waiting from the waves to come from Greece. I'm just reading what Enz put down there. Enz, you're in Turkey. Oh, you're in Istanbul. Okay, you're a little further north than where Piggy is. And Piggy's a little further south, which is okay. But anyway, welcome everyone. Glad to have you on board. And let's get at things fairly quickly. You can see the banner is up and working on the screen, and of course it tells you how many volcanoes we've got active throughout the world and some of the activity that's going on right now. So there were other things on there, but I guess they changed it down to just one. And the Kamchatka Peninsula volcano there has a little bit of activity, but nothing really major. So we say in Istanbul, but if you want, you can say Constantinople. Okay. Istanbul, Constantinople, all the same place, isn't it? It's a nice place if you're like that sort of thing. Anyway, good to have you on board, Enz. And anyway, let's get on to what we've got going on. Well, actually, let's say hi to the moderators first. We've got Arizona Snowman hiding in the background, of course. And Piggy is here. Welcome, Piggy. Good to see you. Got your last picture there, and hope things continue to be on that path of healing. Also, welcome to C&D Boy. I haven't seen him yet. I'm sure he'll be in soon. As well as Gary 24/7 Live AZ Skies, who is here somewhere in the background as well. And then we perhaps may have Joseph Fields. It's Sunday though, could be very busy for him. And then of course we also have others like Lucas Snow and a few others in the background possibly. We'll see who happens to pop in and all this. And that is all good. Anyway, welcome to everyone that is in today, and I expect that we will have a few less people in today because there are football games on, apparently. You know, the old pigskin being tossed around. No pun intended there, Piggy. Anyway, oh boy, I'm going to get in trouble if I say that too much. And let's see. First person in today was Lizoid. So Lizoid gets the cookies. He managed to slither in really quickly when it first hides under the head in the sty. Oh, they're not going to toss you around, Piggy. I promise. I promise. You just stay put there. You'll be okay. That's in the U.S. that they're playing that. You don't have to worry. Greece is a safe place, so all good. And nope, not coming out. Oh, come on, Piggy. It's all good. It's all good. I know you just wanna sit there or stay under the covers and snuggle with Thistle, and Thistle is a nice looking dog, and I'm hoping that your first 24 hours was good with Thistle, and I know that you were saying that Lena, your other dog there, is absolutely in love with Thistle, so that is awesome, and makes for a good company, good relationships, and of course you know, Thistle being protected by Lena from the cats and so on is also very awesome to here. But two whimpered, then suckered me into sleeping in my sty. Anyway, let's get on with things. To say hello to everyone, I'll start out with Alba Girl, welcome, and Hermione Schaefer and Fluffy, also here, welcome, and Dave Kruk, Sasha, Henry Nelson, King Colin Deadman, Jeremiah, welcome, Alba Girl, we got Sophie Jensen, Sophie Josephson. Boy, I said that way too fast and got mixed up. Anyway, welcome, Sophie. Going up some more, we got King Colin, we got Henry, and looking probably not going to have a long list. Enes K from Istanbul in Turkey, welcome. I'm glad to have you on board. And since you're a little further north, you might end up getting some of that snow that they got over there in Sicily. We'll show you that in a little while. Not only is it snowing around the Great Lakes in North America, but also in Sicily. Storm Chaser also here. Welcome, Storm Chaser 1211. And going up a little more, Philomena Camara, welcome. Glad to have you on board, Philomena. Going up a little more, looking for more wonderful people. And I see Grandma B is here. Welcome, Grandma B. Hope you're doing well today. And Adele51 also here. Welcome, Adele. And still scrolling up, looking for others. Amongst all the chatters, which is exactly what we want, though. We do want people to be chatting, and that is all good. Mariano, por favor. Well, first off, welcome, but por favor, English, please. It is a real nightmare to try to translate every time you say something, so if you can, please use Google Translate and put it in English if you can. We do understand, the language difficulties, and that is part of the problem. And we have a lot of people here from different places, like Enes, as an example, could speak Turkish. I can speak German, and a bunch of us can speak German. There's some French people in here, all kinds of different nationalities, but when we're all trying to talk in or speak in our own language, it doesn't work. We need to stick to one language, so please, English is the language that we want to use in here, and that's kind of the rule, so kindly let's stick with that. And Ken Wilson also here. Welcome, Ken. Going up a little bit more, and we see others in here. Let's see, who else we got? I know we're not going to have a lot of people in here today. Judy L on board, saying football today, and don't say it. It's throwing the pigskin around. Our piggy will hide again. She gets sensitive about that. I don't know why. Oh, anyway, going up, scrolling a little more, looking for a lava lady. Hello, volcano friends, or fiends. I think that's supposed to be friends, but could be fiends as well. And welcome. Going up a little more, looking for others, and I am right to the top, and didn't see anyone else. So all good. And now they're speaking Greek. Boy, you guys, keep it in English, please. Struggle with English. I struggle with English all the time. Oh, it's such a hard language. Anyway, let's get at stuff and see what's cooking in the planet here. And of course, what we've got on the screen is the stuff from last year from Cumbre Vieja. And it is, of course, pretty awesome looking to see an eruption like that. I really like to see another one like that. But of course, not harming any people or in harm's way of any type. That's important. Welcome to Sharon Stewart, and let's see who else popped in. Kevin Williams, good to have you on board. Scott Hartman just got here as well. Pried himself away from the pigskin on TV. I mean, the football game. Oh, Piggy's gonna run. Anyway, let's go have a look and see what we've got happening in Iceland first off, and then we will work on the other stuff. Oh, we don't need that banner there. Let's get rid of that. And let's also get rid of that little archive footage thing. Where is that? I know it's here somewhere. There we go. Got it. And we will get our screen turned back on. That's not the right screen. What happened here? Why is that changed on me? All right, something's changed all by itself. Give me a second, and we will do a recapture and try to get that fixed up. That's not what I'm looking for. Things have changed again. I always hate when things change all by themselves, and that is the magic of computers, of course, and they do strange things. So give me a second here, and we will do exactly what I mentioned, and that is just do a quick capture on the window, and then we'll make it a little bigger and go from there. And let's fix that up a little bit. Where is my stuff to straighten it out? All right, things have gone wacko here again. Keep in memory, yeah. Show mouse, yeah, that's okay. Why is that not working? Oh, there it is. That's the one I'm looking for. Okay, so on screen, that is what it looks like right. No, that's not what it looks like right now. That's a whole bunch of hours ago. Let's get to what it looks like right now in Reykjavik, the capital city of Iceland. And there we go. And that's what it is like. Of course, you've seen earlier it was raining. And if we go back about 8 or 9 hours, that's definitely what it was doing. But there was a time where it wasn't too bad. And this is about 6 hours and 45 minutes ago. And it did have some clear spots up top there. Not bad looking for today. And let's pop over to the other one. This, of course, the other current shot. And the beam of light that you see going by, that bloom beam, that's the one that's right on the purlin center, the place where the cameras are mounted. And basically it tells the aircraft, do not fly into me. I'm here. And Purlin Center is a little bit higher than the local airport, which is just down here. If we back that up, you can actually see it. And you can also see this wonderful rainbow, and that is there. So there's the runways. You can see them there. And of course, I'm sure you can see that beautiful rainbow. And that might almost turn into a double one. But awesome to see that. And that is very, very cool for another day. Let's see. Anyway, that's kind of what we got there. Let's go take a look at another area. I could use a pot of gold at the end. Well, it should be right down here somewhere, Henry. I don't know if it's there, but I would guess that it's right down here somewhere. And you'll have to talk to Irish Monk about that. They do have those things kind of hidden for us good folks. I don't know why. They're never there when I get there. Anyway, that is what it looked like earlier today in Reykjavik. let's go over to where Katla is and see what kind of picture we've got. Of course, it is dark there right now. We're going to go back all the way to about 11 hours and 44 minutes ago. That'll give you a little bit of a shot here. That is fairly early, or well, after sunrise. Their sunrise and sunsets are fairly quick because the days are getting much shorter up there. Anyway, normally you would see the ice fields. You can just see the edges of it here, and Katla is located over on underneath those clouds in the ice fields, and that is kind of what we're seeing today. It did have some interesting shots here, different colors in the sky reflecting off the water vapor and water droplets as things are going through, so kind of awesome looking, and I thought it was neat anyway. It's amazing how water will refract light and make it look like something completely different. Anyway, that's about 7 hours and 10 minutes ago there, but you still can't see a darn thing in the background. So we'll leave that guy be. We're going to put him back on live and get this guy back on live as well. And that is what it is like there right now in Reykjavik, the capital of Iceland. And let's go over to our harmonic tremor chart. And I know they still didn't fix it. I'm very saddened by that. But hey, it is what it is, and there you see it. I'm gonna try refreshing anyway. Yep, nothing new. Let's just double check. I didn't check the ASTRA chart today. I just wanted to have a peek at that and see if it is working. Oh yeah, ASTRA is working. And we see a downturn. We do see a bunch of little spikes here. That's indicating that we've had some earthquakes, but nothing really out to lunch, not bigger ones. And these will all be very small in physical size. Sliding down a little bit more, we're going to go down and have a look at the one for Grimsey. And Grimsey, of course, is the little island way at the northern end of Iceland, and there is Grimsey's chart, and pretty much steady as she goes. And this thing is not showing any major spikes, so likely no big earthquake activity in the area, and everything, like I say, just seems to be a status quo there. And let's see what else we got. Going down a little bit more here. There we go. Grindavik, and we do see the Grindavik chart went up, went down, and then it started coming up again. And of course, it looks like it's dropping down as well. And this, I do believe we can attribute this to tectonic movement. I don't think there is any kind of an influx of magma, nothing coming into any strange magma chambers that we're not aware of. So kind of what we got. Hey Johnny Gonzalez, welcome, glad to have you on board. Anyway, what's Adele? Oh, hang on, rest in peace. No, Adele is that's kind of not the right thing to say as rest in peace. I'm just looking to see what's going on here in the chat. Okay, Sharon Stewart, welcome. And what did Adele say? Hi to Sharon. And beyond that, I don't see anything else there. Okay. Hopefully that is all good. Okay, yeah, Piggy, get that snout polished. Anyway, Peter Greenlee's also popped in. Welcome, and glad to have you on board. And Sasha is here. I think I got you earlier. But anyway, looking at what we've got there, that's kind of a so-so reading, and again, nothing major going on there right now. Let's go over and have a peek at the earthquakes. And right now, of course, in the last 24 hours, 62 earthquakes in total in Iceland, and really nothing major. We don't see anything that was very large. I think 2 was about the biggest I've seen. So in general, very, very quiet in Iceland. Let's start up at the top here. Here's the island of the Grimsey, by the way, and that is where it's at. That's what we were referring to. There's only 2 quakes up here today. 1.6, 8.3 kilometers down from 1531. And then we have this one here from 6:34 a.m., a 1.42, and that is 8.9 kilometers down. Sliding down a little bit, we do see this guy by himself, a 1.27, and that is 9.5 kilometers down from 7:05 a.m. Then we have a swarm here, and I don't know why it likes to swarm once in a while, but they do. Let's take a look. 1 in magnitude, 6.5 kilometers down from 1404, and we'll work our way across here. This one was from 1650. A 0.9, 6.9 kilometers down, a 0.8, 5.2 kilometers down from 1145, another 0.9, 8.5 kilometers down from 2003, and then we've got this one from 1240, and that was at magnitude 1.37, 7.3 kilometers down, or just about 7.4. This one is from 10:51 a.m., a 1.21, 8.6 kilometers down. Then we've got a 1.2, 5.2 kilometers down from 12:27, and 1.37, 7.2 kilometers down at 12:27 was the time on that guy. And this smaller 0.6 down on the bottom here, 14.3 kilometers down, 15:26 was the time for him. And let's slide down a little bit and take a look and see what we've got in the other areas. We've got 2 here at Astja. We'll get those first, and then we'll go back up to the other ones up there. 0.63, 4.5 kilometers down, 3:08 a.m. for that guy, and then a 0.38, 5.1 kilometers down from 7:29 a.m. And we'll grab this 1.29, 7.7 kilometers down, 23:36 for him. And then, of course, Herdebreed right in here. Hey, Dave Crook just gifted a membership. Way to go, Dave. And Mary Jane got it. Oh, excellent. Dave, thank you for doing that. Dave Crook. And gifted 1 membership. Excellent. Thanks, Dave. And that is awesome. Very kind of you. And glad to see Mary got that one. Anyway, let's start out with some of these smaller quakes up on the top here. These are all quite small when we're looking at them. 12:38 was the time on this 0.48, 4.3 kilometers down. Then we've got a 0.4, 4.2 kilometers down from 9:39. From 9:35 we had a 0.3, 1.4 kilometers down. Then we had from 2:06 a.m. a 1.14, a 1 kilometer down for him. And then we've got this one, 0.99, 520 meters down, a little shallower. And that is 2:14 a.m. for him. And let's see, this guy here is 2:05 a.m., 0.94 in magnitude, 1 kilometer down. Seems that these are all fairly shallow on that side. This one, 3:53 a.m., 1.14, and that is 341 meters down. Let's check this guy here. 211 meters down for a 0.3 or 0.73 from 2:05 in the morning. And let's see, these ones, yeah, this one's still at 1 kilometer down and 1.51, 2:03 a.m. And then we had this 0.79, a little deeper, 1.7 kilometers down, 7:52 a.m. for him. 0.9 here, and seems that this is the shallow area on this side. 0.9, 2.7 kilometers down, 19:45 for him. Then we've got this 0.75, 4.3 kilometers down, 5 minutes after midnight. And then up here, a 0.4, 4.2 kilometers down, 9:39 is the time on that. 9:35, we had a 0.3, 4.1 kilometers down. And 9:48, we had a 0.87, 4.5 kilometers down. Then we get over here, 58 minutes after midnight, a 1.05, and that was 4.8 kilometers down. Let's get a little closer to Herdebrede, and they are a little bit bigger there, but also a little bit deeper. That's actually from yesterday at 23:17, a 1.03. 4.4 kilometers down for him. From 23:40 yesterday, another 1.3, 4.4 clicks down. And this one here from 23:38 yesterday, 1.34, 4.5 kilometers down. Then 20 minutes after midnight, we had this 0.61, 3.7 kilometers down. And let's get this guy 0.23, very small, 3 kilometers down for him, and that is also yesterday's from 23:38. So these guys are a little bit shallower, and I'm wondering if we've got something subsiding there, because there was a little bit of uplift in that area, and since there's not a heck of a lot of activity, I'm thinking that it's settling back down. And what we're seeing is just the movement of the stuff depressing again, or going back into its natural state. Anyway, at 7:12 a.m. we had a 0.43, 4.9 kilometers down. And then over here we've got a 0.83, 5.4 clicks down at 12 minutes after 10 a.m. A 0 in magnitude at 9:35 a.m. and that was 5.2 kilometers down, and a 0.76, 2.0 kilometers, well, 2.064, boy, that's tough. Anyway, 0.76, 12:34 was the time on it. I'm not going to worry about the rest there. We already looked at these guys, and I think we got him 1.29, 7.7 kilometers down. Yesterday's from 23:36. Moving down a little bit more, well, you see a very small 0.1, 5.5 kilometers down from 13:29. And getting over here to Bardabunga, we see 1.5, and that is 1.1 kilometers down from 1937 today. And a couple are stacked up here. Let's have a look at these. 1.1, 14.4 kilometers down from 1738. Then there's this 0.8, 5.2 clicks down, 1740 was the time on that, and a 0.9 from 1737, and that is 700 meters down. Getting a little closer, there's Grimsvatn, but this guy is kind of out there in no man's land, in between everything else, 0.6, and that is 900 meters down, 13:53 for him. And as I was saying, Grimsvatn right there. Let's take a look at these. There's a 0.8, 4.3 kilometers down, 1748 is the time on it. Smaller 0.3, 7.9 kilometers down, 1753 is the time. And then this one came in at 1607. It's a magnitude 1.5 and 3.4 kilometers down. And sliding down here a little bit, we see some ice movement possibly. Look at this one first, 0.8, 4.3 kilometers down. Nope, definitely not on the ice. This is way too low. And that came in today at 20:33. And then we've got two sitting here, a 1.6, 5.4 kilometers down, 20:30 was the time on it. And the other one is also 1.6, same time, 4.5 kilometers down. So two right in a row right there. And going over to Katla. And Katla is, of course, right there, that little triangle. And when we look at it, that is from 1254, and that is a 2 in magnitude and 7.4 kilometers down. Thank you for the 4-minute warning, Piggy. And we go up here, that's Hekla up here, and we do have 0.5, 5.7 kilometers down, 1759 for that guy. And we'll have to zoom in and move those apart. There we go, 1.83, 566 meters down, 6:41 a.m. for him. 0.2, and that is 1.1 kilometers down, 1332. And this 1 in magnitude, 200 meters down, 6:41 this morning for that guy. And zooming back out, we don't see anything over here at the unpronounceable name. We do see a 1.5, and that is 3.3 kilometers down from 2:24 a.m. And then we've got another 1.4 up here, 4.9 clicks down. Yesterday's from 23:33, and 1.68 from 6:19 this morning, 8.3 kilometers down. And going down here real quick, and 1.6, 5.8 kilometers down, 23:31 yesterday. We see a 1 in magnitude. This is from 1458, 8.5 kilometers down, getting closer to our area. And of course, Fraga del Fiol is right there. This one here is very close to Krusavik, and that is right there. And it is a 0.8, 3 kilometers down, and 17:51 was the time for it. And for those who need to know, Ragnar lives right about here, and that's Fraga del Fiol area. And of course, the Siggy Fisher is right in here. So this is where we want the stuff. I don't want to see anything else anywhere else. All right, volcano gods, hear me now. Erupt. All right, 1.25, 6.9 kilometers down roughly, 2:16 a.m. for that one. And then we have this one here from yesterday at 23:06, 1.93, 7.1 kilometers down. Welcome, Layla. Glad to have you on board. Mark the Shark, aloha. Good to see you. And that is pretty awesome. That's all we've got there for quakes right now. I did want to check the other one real quick, just to see if we had anything way up north. And we get better results on the other chart here, on the other earthquake map. So I'm just going to check it, and I don't see anything, so I'm not even going to bother bringing it up. All right, so that is all right. Anyway, there is our wonderful quakes and shakers in Iceland, and really not anything serious to worry about. I wish we had some stuff going. That would be really, really cool, but it is what it is. So not much we can do to get the lava gods to make things happen. Unless Yvonne Kunkel wants to go out there and get things going. Dave Crook does another gift, gifted one membership. And way to go, Dave. So good to see that. So there we go. We got two. Welcome, Yvonne Kunkel. I'm glad to have you on board. And when's your next trip to Iceland? Those lava workers just are not doing anything for us. Anyway, it's all good. It is just about break time here, you guys. It is break time. So for those wonderful people here, please, if you have not yet, hit that like button, give it a quick pop. Also, if you're new, sitting on the outside, you want to jump in here and chat with the good folks, You only need to be subscribed for 1 minute. Dr. Fox, when it's erupting. Oh, smart. Very smart, Yvonne. Comedians. Oh, love it. Anyway, no worries. I wish it was erupting just like this. So what we've got on the screen, of course, archive footage of Cumbre Vieja volcano in La Palma from last year. And don't let anybody fool you. That's last year's footage. I got my green pants now. There you go, Johnny. You can be looking spiffy there. All awesome. Anyway, I'm your host, DrFox2000. I'm going to take a break for about 5 or 6 minutes. Don't go away. Keep smiling, everyone. And I will be back. And oh, by the way, hi Lucas, who just popped in there as well. Good to see you. And yep, I will be back. Don't go away. Keep smiling. And don't play in the lava. That hurts. I'll be back. And there we go. The microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching VolcanoX live stream. And thanks, Dave. And Sharon Stewart says, I hear you, Dr. Fox. All good. And thanks, Albagirl, and Pete, and Yvonne, and John, and Sasha, and Hermione. And Piggy says, welcome back, God Dodd, Dr. Fox, LOL. Okay. Dog? Dodd. Boy, that's confusing with that language. I'm not sure what you're speaking there, Piggy, but English, please. I'm sorry, I had to do that. Anyway, love seeing what I've got on the screen there. I wish we could see volcanoes like this erupting every time. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what a dot is. Sasha, yeah, it's a good question. You got a valid point there. Dog, not a Dodd. But anyway, I did pop that wonderful thistle up on the screen there just so you guys could see it. And absolutely, your thistles, God, Dad. Oh, is that what that is? I guess. So all good. Anyway, Thistle is, of course, such a cute little munchkin there, and I'm very happy that Lena is protecting that. She good. Jeepers a noodle, not reading below. Little, oh, LOL. Okay. Oh, it's okay, Piggy. We'll figure it out. It's all good. It's all good. Oh, thank you, Piggy. You're a wonderful person, and I know sometimes those typos get us. Trotter's confuddled. Yeah, it happens to me too. Anyway, let's carry on and see what else we got flying around our wonderful places of enjoyment here. So, off to Sicily we go. And, yep, Sicily was interesting. Very cloudy today. Yeah, the surprise is hidden behind the clouds. And we'll start the wonderful. I did a little bit of a video here from this morning, of course, time lapse. It took 3 tries, but I got it. It's a little longer than normal, but let's take a look at it. And there you can see it. Before I start the video, you do see the volcano there. And we're going to start it now, and you can watch this time lapse. It's 2 minutes 28 seconds. And now watch the direction of the clouds right now. They're all going from left to right, and it looks pretty harmless, pretty normal. And as this is early in the morning, of course, just coming up on 7 a.m., gets all cloudy and foggy. Now these clouds are really starting to move along here. And of course, they're going over to the right-hand side. But it's funny how things happen. All of a sudden, they put on the brakes and they start going backwards. And it is really weird. And anyway, there's a good shot of Etna right there. You can see a little bit of pluming coming off the very top of it. So not bad at all. Hey, thank you, Johnny, for that wonderful super chat of $1 there. That's awesome, and appreciate it, Johnny, just writing that down. And anyway, those clouds got back in there, and just writing that down. Gonzalez, there we go. And now you see the clouds kind of slowing down a bunch, and now they actually go back the other way. This is the darndest thing. I've never seen anything like that before, where the clouds literally stopped and they go back. And then we see them going back the other way again. It's like they hit a wall or something. And then it got really, really rainy. And just not sure what that is all about. But you can kind of see a little hints of what happened. when those clouds move back and forth again. If you look at the mountain very carefully, you notice that it has had a change in color. And wait till you get to the end here of the video, you will see it fairly well. So it was all blackened before, and see what happened? Those clouds made it all white. I don't know, they had paint or something in there. And definitely a jet stream of some sort. Anyway, it looked really awesome, really cool, and then the clouds, of course, buried it a little bit more, and then we seen there it is, and you know, at the end there, that was pretty awesome to see that, and full of snow, you bet, and that is kind of neat to see. And actually, let's just leave it on there for a second. Just so we can see that and reminisce. Anyway, definitely getting ready for ski season. Yep, ice, snow caps, and pretty awesome to see it change that quickly. And that is how quickly it happens from, you know, 7 a.m. roughly until 11 o'clock. And 4 hours, all of a sudden, the entire mountain changes color. That is pretty awesome. Anyway, we'll leave that be. We know what it looks like. That was the stuff during the day, of course. And if we go back, we don't need to go back. We've already seen it in the time lapse. This is what it is right now. As far as what I've seen on the charts there, it's still cooking along at the same pace. There was nothing major popping out, so we're going to leave that guy be. Let's carry on and take a look at other places, and we'll go to the Azores. And of course, we are on the island of São Jorge, or if you want to pronounce it in Portuguese, São Jorge. If I said it right, and that is what we're seeing there. For those who aren't familiar with that scene, this is what it looks like during the day. You see that little harbor right down in front, and then just to the right side there, the town. And then, of course, across the strait, you see a Pico Island and a Pico Volcano, aka Mount Montana. And that is kind of what we're seeing there. So off in the distance here, you see the lights of Pico Island. And of course, this is your harbor all lit up, and the town site right there. And let's take a look at the other shot that we normally like to look at there. I'm just going to find that. There we go. And that is our little bay or cove. And we usually check for how much white water is coming in here to see how rough the ocean is. And it's not overly rough today. For those who aren't familiar with that picture either, this is what that looks like during a daytime shot during calm sea conditions. So that is pretty awesome. Anyway, we'll leave that there. Let's go take a look at the earthquakes. And we only seen 2 on the list for today. And let's make that a little wider. There we go. And of course, this first earthquake map is strictly for São Jorge, and that is what we've got going. So let's take a look at these two. This is a 1.6, 6:44 a.m. for that guy. And then the other one is also a 1.6, and that happened at 17:26. So there we go. And let's see. Okay, Yvonne is going to go to bed. Have a great night. Good night, Yvonne. Take care and lovely dreams. And we'll see you when we can. Oh, I'm clicked on the wrong place. What's going on here? Why is... Oh, hang on. Did I mess this up? I did too. I was going to talk about stuff today here. How much energy can an earthquake release? But we'll get to that in a bit. I want to go back here and just see what we've got as far as the activity on St. George and in the area. So we'll make that map a whole bunch bigger. And they are indicating the 2 quakes that are on St. George right there. 4 hours ago 1.6 and 15 hours ago 1.6. The only other quake in the area 25 minutes ago 2.0, and that is I guess it'd be on one of the fissures out here, and that's kind of all we see there today. So relatively quiet when you get right down to things. We don't see anything else down on the bottom. And of course, if we zoom this out a little bit more, just so you get the idea of where we are, Iceland is up here, and this is the Rikens Ridge, Mid-Atlantic Ridge, coming down all the way through. And then, of course, they call this the East Azores fault, and that's what we're seeing there. So Eurasian plate, African plate, and a North American plate. And hopefully that helps everyone out when you're looking at that. And let's put that back onto this kind of shot. Hang on, did that work? No, it didn't. Let's put it there. Okay, and we'll leave that there. And we'll carry on to our next one. And, oh, volcano gray. And it's buffering. Isn't that sweet? That should be interesting and easy to find, right? And the one with the twirly in the middle going around. And let's see if we can back that up to the wee hours of the morning. And that is in the wee hours of the morning, 3:20 a.m. And it looked so nice with all those stars. I just love seeing that sky in the background. And what they've done with the camera, of course, they're only taking 1 frame per second. So then we do have a little more exposure happening. But something that we don't normally see from Popocatépetl, and it is about 70 kilometers south of Mexico City, we don't typically see it erupting any lava, and we don't usually catch it if it does. But last night it did a little bit. So, and we were right there to capture that. So here it goes. It's a little 2-minute clip. It's not really sped up in a time-lapse fashion. It's only going twice the speed because they're only taking 1 frame a second. But there you can see it's actually lava coming out and splashing on the side of Popocatépetl. So there we go. Finally, I see some lava. I just wish this would have been during the evening time or something where we could have really seen it in its full glory of being red and lavally and rolling down the hill. But that was kind of it. You can see that it was continuing a little bit and possibly threw out some material on the other side of the volcano as well. As you can see, it's well lit on the left side of it. So pretty awesome to actually see that. And yeah, Popo is hot. Call the fire trucks. Anyway, there we go. We'll just carry on here. Anyway, I thought it was nice to be able to see that and kind of share it with you guys. And it was different looking. Anyway, that was from 1920, about 24 yesterday when that happened, and last night. Pretty awesome to see that. Anyway, that's it for that one. I'm going to leave that be, put you back to the actual screen. And this, of course, we're about 12 hours ago there. If we move ahead a little bit, kind of sort of stays the same. We do see the stars moved over, a little bit of a glow still happening, and we are getting closer to the daylight hours here. This one was a little bit of a puff coming out of here, so I didn't really check it too much. We'll take a look and see what we've got. And I don't think it threw any lava out, at least not in our direction or towards the camera view. But maybe on the other side, you never know. But definitely lighting up, which is really quite fantastic to see. Moving on a little bit, we do see as things were starting to get lighter out, we do see a little bit of a puff coming out of there as well in 6:02, 6:03 in the morning here. And that is kind of what we're seeing right there. And again, it's a very slow camera mode, so we aren't getting the frames that I'd like to see zipping along there. But that's kind of what we've got. And moving ahead a little bit, and we do see the golden hour and the golden stream coming out of it, and that looks pretty awesome. 6:41 a.m. is the time on that. And then after that, we had another little bit of explosive pluming right there, and that was at 6:50. And again, some of this stuff was heading up fairly high into the atmosphere, but really not as nasty as some of the other volcanoes. Definitely not like Fuego, and Fuego has been pushing the material up to great heights at times. So all awesome. Anyway, it gets into its volcano gray thereafter, and pretty much stayed there. So we will leave that. That's what the present screen looks like, even from the other angle. That's still that beautiful volcano gray. Now moving over to, speaking of Fuego, we'll go over there, and of course there you go. That is Fuego's favorite color, and that is volcano gray. We did see a few little spots in the very early morning hours, 4:18. Actually, I think there was just a little bit before that, 4:12. There you go. Kind of just throwing out some stuff. You can see the camera shaking back and forth. Definitely looks like it's moving quite windy there. Anyway, we will get to one more here, and thank you for the warning, Piggy, and thanks, Henry. We'll be going for a break here shortly. I am aware of the time, so all good. And there you can see it spurting out some more wonderful lava, and that is I'd love to be there and get that in color. It really would be awesome to see that. But then of course we're battling the clouds on this one, and after that it was just about continuously in the clouds, and you know, it was hit and miss on finding a couple of spots during the daylight. 9:45, and there you see a very eruptive explosion coming out of it right there, and the camera actually kind of stalled here, and I don't know if it's just jumping over time or what it is, but they must have low bandwidth. Anyway, that's what we've got. So looking at it, there we go. And after that, it popped back into its cloudy mode, and we'll leave it there. So I'm going to leave that on, and we will continue on with our next one, Merapi, and so on, once we get back from the break. That's right after bacon seeds, of course. But in the meantime, I'm going to put you back on the canned lava and throw some music back on. For those good people who are here, if you have not yet hit that like button, help us out. Of course, our target is to get over that 100 likes. That's when YouTube's analytics take off, so would really be appreciated. On that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and I'll be back in about 5 or 6 or 7 minutes, and then we'll have some bacon seeds, and then carry on with volcanoes. I'll be back. welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and we're watching VolcanoX live stream. And of course, we see the stuff on the screen is actually from last year, so it's not live, but the stream is. So that is all cool. And Kevin Haynes, by the way, happy belated birthday for you since it was yesterday, and glad that we didn't know. I would have put a cake up there for you and all kinds of things. Anyway, thank you for the welcome backs from Albagirl and Hermione, and I hear you from Sharon Stewart, and thanks Grandma B. Awesome. And Digital Dreamer popped in. Welcome. Glad to have you back on board, Todd. Good to see you. And of course, Todd is out there in Hawaii. He's got palm trees and no snow, and that is awesome. Anyway, it is bacon seed time, you guys, so let's pop over there and have a look and see what we've got going on. And Piggy, of course, was busy sending us, there's Piggy emailing, and let's get into our wonderful bacon seeds. I think we may have are kind of doubled up here somewhere. Anyway, that was the last one from yesterday, and then we carry on with the new ones. And of course, this one said, I woke up this morning, I looked down, and one of my toes was missing, and there was a note stuck to my foot that said, gone to market. Get it? Anyway, these ones are all pretty funny here, you guys. So we'll read some of them out. Anyway, what's the super confusing way that pigs say I love you? And it says, I abhor you. Get it? I abhor you. Anyway, those are very, very happy pigs, and they are definitely in love, and that is all good. So all right, Piggy, thank you, and we'll fix that up shortly. Let me just save that, and we'll make that happen, Piggy, and no worries, and that is good. Oh, yep. I think so. You might be right there, Piggy. All right, thank you. And let's get on to the next one. And this one, of course, is what do you call an imaginary pig? A pigment of your imagination. That is awesome. And always like having pigments of my imaginations. Anyway, and next one is this one, a pig joke. What does a pig say when he is in the sun? I'm bacon. Funny, funny, funny. Very funny. That is pretty awesome. And oh, this one is bad. This is a bad joke. So if you have kids around, get them closer, and they want to watch this. What do you get when you pick a pig's nose? Ham boogers. I know. It's not funny. Okay. Anyway, that is bad. Let's get to the next one. And of course, this trio, I don't know what's going on. This is interesting. Some dressed up, and of course, top hats and tails, I guess. Curly tails, for lack of better words. All good, though. Swine Lake. Yeah, Swine Lake. That would be about right. Let's carry on to our next bacon seed, and there it is. Speaking of Swine Lake, what do we got happening here? Chef Piggy is cooking up some spaghetti and sauce, and doing a wonderful job all over the place. Gotta love it, you guys. And that is what pigs do best. They make a mess. Fred Astaire with Emma and Ura pig. Okay, there you go, Sharon. And what about these two? Definitely doing some dancing there for sure. These are really good at what they're doing too. Doing the trotting and singing and dancing. Very talented pigs. Let's get to our next one. And yes, they got arms sticking out and everything, you guys. That's pretty awesome. Trotters in the air. Oh, fun. Anyway, here's a little bit more back down to earth. And that, of course, is a cute little bacon seed. Sorry, I don't mean not to be nice. Oh. Yeah, let's see what happens. You're absolutely a fine Alba girl. Don't worry about it. And I'm pretty sure we'll figure out exactly what's going on here very quickly. And let's see. I'm just scrolling up to look for something. Give me a second here, you guys. And okay. I'm still scrolling up, but oh yeah, I was just looking for something in the chat here. But anyway, we'll figure it out here very shortly, and we are on to something, and we're going to rectify something very quickly. So not a worry. Anyway, next little bacon seed is this one. This is also a cutie, dressed up in its PJs, getting ready to go to bed, and that is pretty awesome to see. I love these, and very, very cool. And we will get to our last bacon seed, and that will be pretty cool. So let's do that. And there is our last bacon seed for today, and another little smiley fella with I don't know, looks like a bathrobe and a bath towel and some piggies, and bathing a piggy, and that is awesome. So those are your bacon seeds for today, and thank you very kindly to Piggy for sending those in. Wonderful job as always, and that is beautiful stuff. And thank you kindly, Piggy. And while that is where it is, I'm going to do something else here for a second, and let me get at this if I can get to it without too many distractions. I want to fix something up real quick, and there we go. I'm getting things ready, so hopefully I can do this real fast, and I won't keep you guys waiting too long. And there we go. All right, we'll see if we can do this. Gotta get it going. Gotta get it fixed up, so we'll see what we can do here. And Kevin, we can't let you get away without having the birthday music playing, and having a birthday song and all that. So here, Kevin, this is for you, and we want you to have a very happy birthday. Even though we're a day late, there you go. And that, of course, is it happy 60th birthday? Is that how old you are? I don't know if that's, it says Kevin on there. I don't know if that's how old you are. But, oh, 63? Uh-oh, somebody didn't write that properly then. Those darn people at the cake factory. Let's see if we can fix that up. No, let's just pretend it's a 63 in there. All good, you guys. So awesome, but yeah, perfectionist connections. I got it wrong by one. I did a fast bake. Trotters slipped. Okay, no worries, Piggy. And I hope you have many more there, Kevin Haynes. All the best to you, and hopefully you will enjoy the rest of the day here for yourself. So happy birthday, and that's from all of us here, the entire Lava family, and to you, Kevin. Thank you for being part of the group. That should be good. And by the way, you can blow out the candles, and that's pretty awesome. Yeah, we got. Pardon me. Unexpected cough, and I hate those. It happens though. Anyway. I was just going to say, Ennis, I don't think that dynamite is going to be the best solution there. Rebecca Patterson saying, good night, everyone. Good night, Rebecca, and thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. And that is all cool. And I didn't know you were here, so all good. And sleep well, yep. Okay, we had to do this. I mean, we do this for all the good people in here, so Kevin, you're one of them. And thanks for being part of that group. And there we go. Awesome. So let's leave that be, and we will get to our next volcanoes. And again, happy birthday, Kevin. And we will carry on here. On screen now, Merapi, and that is, it's Kevin Haynes' birthday, the one that was just typing just right before your message there, Philomena, at least on my screen. And let's see if we can pop in. There is Merapi, and Merapi is looking greenish, and nice to see some color in it. 5:22 a.m. Very early in the morning, and I'm surprised their sun is up, and that is okay though. They are a little south of the equator, but that's all right. Don't see any lava right there. If we go back about an hour and 30 minutes, roughly, we do see a cloud trying to wrap itself around the volcano. Not sure if it's trying to become a lenticular cloud, but it didn't quite accommodate anything. And then earlier, of course, we had horrible weather and we couldn't see a darn thing. And there we go, moving along. Andy Morgan, welcome. Glad to have you on board. We do also see here, the clouds lowered a little bit and left the top exposed. And that was from yesterday at about 23 minutes after 10 p.m. their time. But prior to that, it was all in kind of the famous volcano gray slurry, if you want to call it that. Let's leave that be. So Merapi is there, and it is doing its thing, but not throwing out as much lava as we would like to see. Moving on, let's take a look at New Zealand, and boy, oh boy, do they have some clouds in there too. I swear these are the same ones that were over there in Etna, giving them all that funky gray weather. Let's see if we have a little bit of sunshine in here. I know a few hours back, 4 hours and 20 minutes ago, and we did see a little bit of blue sky. There it is. And unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to see Mount Ruapehu in New Zealand at all today. What about right there? Is that going to work? No, still too many clouds in the background. And we don't see it, so we will leave that back onto alive. And that, of course, is New Zealand right now. A view looking at Mount Ruapehu, and not much else going on. Next one on our list, of course, is another one that is hiding in the clouds, unfortunately, and not helping us at all for a show. But it is what it is. And we do see up top here, Semeru is hiding, playing, hide and go seek kind of thing. We see a lot of stuff going through here. I gotta actually load the video up. I have a video that I watched today about when the Lahar waters come through here, how deep it actually gets. And it kind of shocked me when I seen how deep it was. There was water all the way up here on the road, all the way up to the top, and quite a bit of water in here as well. So when that goes through, there's no way that they can have any traffic going through that low area. So I'll see if I can get that loaded for tomorrow, because that actually looked pretty awesome. Anyway, let's back this up a little bit, see if we see anything earlier in the day. And there it is from, what time is it? Just about 3 a.m., 2:55 a.m. We can see the top of the cone, a little bit of a glow there, and a couple of light spots. When you look in the black and white here, you can definitely see the glow, as well as the stuff going down the hill. But again, it's kind of calm for the most part, not seeing massive flows. There was a little bit more then, and that was at 1:19 a.m. If we go back even further, we see more clouds, but kind of always at the same level of eruption, and really nothing major going on there at Semeru. Although it is continuing to off-gas quite well. So that is something to bear in mind. And then, of course, when we go back even further, you can see those horrible clouds hiding and or hiding the volcano from us, unfortunately, just like what they do during the daytime. And there we go. I'm back to live. Let's pop over to Suwanoshijima in Japan. We'll have a quick peek at that, and there we go. And that is what Sakurajima, not Suwanoshijima. Sakurajima is the one we're looking at, and that is not bad. Quick check. Oh, the ice cream boat is leaving. Darn it, we didn't make it quick enough. I yacked too much, and we were supposed to get our ice cream. I guess we will have to wait for the next one. So, good night, Adele. We'll be back next weekend. Okay, you take care, Adele, and have a good week, and all the best. And take care of yourself for the course of the week. Anyway, so yep, ice cream boat is leaving. We'll catch the next ice cream boat, and we're getting very close to break time here. Anyway. So that is live 7:28 a.m. there in Japan, and that's what we were seeing from a distance. This is a little closer. The close-up cam still not working, but we wouldn't be able to see anything anyway because of the amount of smoke and ash coming towards the camera, so it kind of buried it. Quick peek over at Aso, which is also in Japan. And Aso actually is seeing some sunshine up top there. It is still early, 7:30 in the morning there, and you see quite a bit of smoke or steam coming out of the caldera, and that is because there's a lake inside the caldera. and the floor of the caldera is still quite hot. So we are seeing steam rising from it, and that is pretty cool. And of course, it's going to continue to steam until all that water is gone. But every time it rains, it refills a whole bunch. So that's what we got. Now, somebody was asking for Mount Fuji, and I wasn't able to find too many. Well, I wasn't able to find that stream that I was watching before for Mount Fuji. We do have this one. This is a live shot of Mount Fuji. Unfortunately, not a lot of movement going in there. And they also don't allow us to go back and forth. But that is just a still cam, or not still cam, just a regular camera with the recorder and not turned on, so we can't go back in time. And we do see, though, that Mount Fuji does have a pile of snow up at the top. I am definitely going to see if we can get that other stream back on, the one that we always looked at before, and I thought that one was a much nicer stream. So we'll take a look and see what happens in the future. I don't know if we can crank the quality on this one up. This one is actually a lot lower in quality. The other one was 4K. So we'll see what we can do. Anyway, that is Mount Fuji for those who asked, and there we go. Let's take a look. We might be able to sneak one more volcano in, and let's see if this is the right one. And yep, it is. So let's have a quick peek at Taal. And Poppet has been released. I was looking at the screen. I only seen the 3:29 as far as my time on the screen, and then all of a sudden, pitching your job, piggy, and Poppet comes out. Run and hide quickly. Anyway, that is Taal volcano, and it is a break time for me, you guys. So for those good people who have not yet hit that like button, please do consider hitting the like if you can. Of course, our target and goal for today's stream is to get over that 100 mark. Also, the good people who are here, if you are sitting on the outside and you have not yet subscribed, it takes 1 minute to be able to come into the chat and chat in the chat box if you like doing that. On that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I will be back in 5 or 6 minutes after a little bit of a break. We'll get you back on some canned lava. And don't go away, more to come. Thanks. And there we go. Microphone is back on. And let's see what we can do here. And there you go, Piggy. And thank you for the welcome backs. And from Albert Girl and Hermione and Fluffy and John and Piggy and Colin Dedman, and I hear you from Sharon Stewart and Kevin Haynes. Gifted another wonderful wonderful gift there. Kevin Haynes, thank you. I'm going to write that down. Kevin Haynes, and I got it. They are gifted one, and Ennis, I got it. Wow, Ennis K, congratulations on getting that free 1 month membership. Compliments of Kevin Haynes. So awesome, and that was very, very kind, and all good there. So let's get going back to where we were at, and we were looking at our wonderful thing that is there in Taal in the Philippines, and Taal, of course, is smoking some. We do see it off-gassing, not doing a big job, but that is live, and that is what's happening right now. So Taal being relatively quiet, which is okay, and yeah, Taal looks pretty short from here, but I'll tell you, it is still 1,000 and some feet tall, 330 some meters in height. So distance and kind of being way down makes it look a little deceiving. And what happened there? All right. Okay. Anyway, Piggy, just so you know, you've got my authorization. Okay. Anyway, let's leave Taal. We'll go somewhere else, something that's short, and we'll see if we can find another nice place to go. And of course, since we still have daylight, we'll take a look at this one. And there we go, just in time. And of course, everyone knows where this is. This is Yellowstone National Park, and that, of course, is Old Faithful. And man, is that shooting out a lot of material right now. And it is doing a pretty awesome job, and I'm very happy that we can see it. Jellystone or Yellowstone, either will bring up the link. You can bring up this page for yourself. There's all kinds of different maps and the like on that page, telling you where the camera is located, what it can look at, and where the geysers are located. There are over 500 active geysers in Yellowstone National Park, and that is pretty cool. There are also, Sasha put a bear there. Yeah, Yogi and Boo Boo are there. And there are Sasquatches and all kinds of other things there in Yellowstone as well. And you're all welcome to go and have a look. Pretty awesome. I never eat Yellowstones. Yeah, Colin, you don't want to eat them or lick them or anything. Our old saying is, because we have snow half the year, our saying here is never eat yellow snow in winter. And the other thing I keep telling people is never eat yellow snow in summer either. And, well, I'll leave it at that. Yep, yellow stones or yellow snow, either or. If it, never mind. You don't want to eat it. Trust me. That is just not something you want to do. Anyway, I've never tried, but I'm going to stay away from it. And all right, okay, Piggy, go ahead, remove them, and that'll be good. And we've had enough of Garabandal in here for today. So let it happen. Anyway, that's all good. Actually, let me do that. There we go. Oh, okay. Thanks, Piggy. And yeah, there's only one individual around that calls Piggy Peggy, and that is Garabandal, and we've removed him for a reason. And he likes to cause disruptions, and I'll leave it at that. Anyway, each to his own. Let's carry on. And Yellowstone National Park is, of course, a wonderful place. You are more than welcome to go have a look at that website and do your thing. And let's go over to Hawaii, though, because Hawaii is a nice place to go. They got palm trees and good things there. And let's continue on here. I gotta find where I am. There we go, Hawaii. And of course, there is the lava pond. And there is some bright spots. We do see that. Yeah, don't stick your tongue to a frozen pole. That is another good piece of advice, Sasha. You'll be stuck there in no time. Anyway, toe area, looking like it's got a little bit of lava in it as well. We can actually see it today, and of course this is our lava pond, and that is inside the caldera of Kilauea. And this picture, of course, from yesterday at 18:26 or 6:26 p.m. their time. So pretty cool. And we will refresh that. By the way, the brighter spots in here, just so you know, for those that aren't familiar with this show, we do see that. Anyway, what happens is the lava tube is over here, feeds the lava in, and of course it crusts over, and we see it popping in like that, and it continues to kind of get a crust on it, and then here is where it's draining down into the abyss underneath somewhere. We're not sure if it's going via lava tubes back into the actual lava or magma chamber, but the gas bubbles, because the lava is heading down, the gas bubbles come up and break the surface crust. It's not very thick crust, so it pops through there fairly quickly. And of course, that is the toe area. That is also being fed via a lava tube somewhere from this pond over to that pond. I don't know exactly where it is, but it does do that. Let's refresh it, take a look at what it looks like right now. And there we go. We see that out there. It's quite low in level. And we see some really dark areas here that may be kind of a lava tube or just an overhang over top of that. Could break off in the future. We do see here as well that that is an overhang. The level is really, really low in the actual lava pond. Don't know what's going to happen in the future here, if this thing is going to continue to go down in level. It really is not going to do anybody any good. It's going to be horrible, and we don't want that to happen. So let the lava gods put some more stuff in there. Yeah, you're all right, Piggy. No worries. And we kind of suspected that. Anyway, primary vent right about here. There's your little hornito that has the lava tube in it and sliding out towards the actual lava pond. And there you can see the toe area. This distant shot is a little further back, of course. Then when we refresh it, this is what it looks like. We do see that right in here. And of course, there's your little hornito right there. Still seeing some smoke come up on the sides of the caldera in several places. And that is kind of what we've got going on. Again, a low lava level. You can see a Pig Island right there. And of course, you can see the darker area up top here. That is all a very thick lava, dried up and cooled off. It is somewhere between anywhere from about 2 to 5 meters in thickness, and at least that's what they're assuming. And underneath that, of course, we have a whole big lava pond. And of course, the floor of the caldera is down about 470 feet down, or 144 meters roughly. And the present volume in there is somewhere around 110 million cubic meters, or roughly 92 billion 92 billion gallons. Sorry, I did that wrong. 29 billion gallons. Dyslexia took over, my bad. Anyway, that's what's underneath there. So a long ways down, and here where this actually is, this primary vent, the caldera wall is actually straight underneath that. So all this extra stuff here, it's kind of filled it up to that point where it's pouring out and making it look like this is closer to the middle, but way down in the bottom, that's actually right up against the caldera wall. Let's take a look at the next image. This one, of course, from the other side of the caldera, and we can see the lava pond, the tow area, and of course over here the primary vent. And not seeing too much else. Let's refresh that one to daylight. There you go. Pig Island over here, primary vent over on this side. You can actually see the lava tube right in there. If you look at it, you can see the little arch to it, and that is where the lava is flowing in. And I'm surprised that we are not seeing more lava. That really needs to refill. Somebody needs to get there and fill it up, and hopefully the lavagons will take care of that for us. Looking at the thermal image, this one from yesterday at 1828, and that is a kind of primary vent right there, a hornito there, lava tube underneath here, you can't see it, and the pond tow area. And we see this other spot here cooling off and starting to crust over as well. Dr. Fox, when do you think the caldera was a wee lake at the bottom? When do you think that caldera was? Oh, well, it's been a long time. It's been erupting for well over a year. Back when that vent was still completely at the side, that was prior to September 29th of last year. So it's quite old already, Rebecca. And I think it's always had some magma or lava down in the bottom of the caldera, but that it's been a long time already that it's been active like this. So very interesting. And of course, I didn't start really following it until about a year ago or thereabouts, when we started changing our format of the show here to be able to cover some of these other volcanoes. So there's still some things in the past history I'm not up on, and that is just, being straightforward and honest. I don't know exactly what all was transpiring there. Let's refresh this guy, and we'll have a quick look. And that is the current one. Didn't look like it changed a heck of a lot. We do still see some lighter areas around the edges, and that is telling us we've got more heat there than we do in the crusted over area here. And let's see, I gotta just take a look at an email that just came in, and said something about all right, this is really weird, and I don't think that is a valid email. Yep, You know, it's amazing that my stepdad passed away in 2013, and why am I getting an email from him from Italy? That doesn't make much sense. Yep, that's the kind of stuff that we get. Yep, it is a spam email. And I don't think he's sending me things from the grave. I'm sorry, especially from Italy. Anyway, that is all good. Well, I go over to the other volcano, Mauna Loa, and this was the scene at the sunset at 8:16, or sorry, 6:16 yesterday evening, and there we go. George Couteau, welcome. Glad to have you on board. And let's refresh it and have a look at it right now. And there you go. I see the aliens moved their light beam over a little bit. They've been inspecting things very carefully here. Anyway, there is the caldera. It is massive and very interesting to see that. And no lava in Azores. No lava in the Azores. Sorry, George. None on Sao Jorge or over on Terceira. Neither one are producing anything yet. Still hoping. We'll see what happens in the future. Spirit from Krypton. Doc. Okay, Colin, if you say so. Anyway, going over to the Hawaii map for a second. We use this one, of course, all these different stars and cameras and sensors and stuff they've got. We do utilize the thermal image off of here, and that would be on this one. And we can have a little look there. And again, of course, you can take a look at the side here. That gives you the temperature gradient of what the camera is actually set to. And that is actually not too bad. Let's get that on screen. There we go. So you see some of the rocks are almost white hot. Well, that is 35-40 degrees Celsius. The basically the delta T on this thing, or the temperature setting, is cranked way up, so we can easily see what is going on. And the sun heats up the rock in here quite a bit. It's not lava, just to make sure that everybody understands that. This is not lava. This is just the way the thermal camera is set up. And yeah, I like this though. And these beams coming down, that is pretty scary. Anyway, for those people who want to bring up that other one, Hawaii map is the thing to type in, and it'll bring up that link, and you can get all the pictures on there from their various cameras in the area, and they're all still shots, mind you, but they are there, so that is doable for you, and all awesome. Okay, let's take a look at time, and do we have time to go to earthquakes? I don't think we do, and we'll pop over to the earthquake map, but what I'm going to do is take a break, and we will take a look at earthquakes for Hawaii afterwards. And let's see if I got to get on the right map. There we go, and then we will go from there. By the way, we had another 5.0 down here in Argentina, so interesting to see those quakes. And actually, before we go, I'll just put this one back on real quick here for a second, and just let you look at that. This, of course, Discovery, volcanodiscovery.com has this on there, and you guys can always go have a look. Last 90 days, it gives you the seismicity of what we've been having and experiencing on the planet, and it shows you some of the larger ones, 7.7 there in Mexico back on the 19th, and you know, gives you some various sizes, some activity. We aren't seeing anything that is up to the 8.2 right now, and that is kind of cool. But let's leave that be, and we will take a look at Hawaii after the break. I'll put you back onto the canned lava, and there it is. And I am going to take a break, and apparently it's snowing in Holland right now, so we'll take a look when I get back from the break if Barbara sent a picture here. I want to take a look at it and see. Oh yeah, she did. Oh my God, she's standing out there in bare feet. Barbara, don't do that. You'll get cold feet. All right, snowfall in my village over at Dinkel, Netherlands. Okay, we'll have a look, and we'll see if we can save that for you. Looks like somebody was building a snowman, and yeah, oh my God, it's horrible. Anyway, I'll be back after the break, and we'll see if we can load those up in a little bit and go from there. So yes, Hermione, Barbara sent me the pictures, and it is snowing for her right now, and she's just down the road from you. Anyway, I'll be back in about 5 or 6 minutes, you guys. Keep smiling, play nice on the lava, stay warm, and I'm your host, DrFox2000. For those who are here, if you have not yet hit that like button, please do consider hitting it. Also, if you have not subscribed and you're sitting on the outside, by all means, give it a quick whop and go from there. And 1 minute later, you can get into the chat and chat. Anyway, I'll be back in a few minutes. Don't go away. Thanks. there we go. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching VolcanoX live stream. And I see Mary Jane just popped in. Welcome, Mary Jane, and thank you for the welcome backs from John and Hermione and Kevin Haynes and Sasha and I don't know who else. I'm sure there's going to be more, and I'm sure Sharon Stewart's going to say, I hear you, Dr. Fox 2000, which is all right. Anyway, we did want to pop over to Hawaii and look at the earthquakes there. Boo, Dr. Fox 2000. Ow. Okay, is that what piggies do? And thanks, Alba girl. That's all good. Anyway, we see some quakes there, and that is pretty awesome. And we will get to that in a second. I'm magically going to load some pictures over top of everything here. And they're horrible pictures, and of course, they are of things that we see too much here. Oh, that is crooked. We got to fix that. Hang on. How do I fix that? Turn that around. Rotate. I want to rotate it that way. There we go. And that is one of the pictures that Barbara, our wonderful Dinkel storm chaser, Dutch weather, sent us. And there you can see it snowing in Holland. And let's see if we got two more little pictures here that will give you a better idea of what's going on. This one here, good shot down the street, and yep, definitely looks like it is snowing. And the next shot is one that I know really means a lot to a lot of people, but we here don't do that, and that is this. We don't stand in our bare feet in the snow, because I know it may not snow a heck of a lot there, but we definitely don't do that here, because we know keep your feet warm, otherwise you end up getting cold very quickly. I'm sure you could go back inside, Barbara, if you seen that. She also sent a short little video of her walking around. I'm going to see if I can load that up. I guess I have to save the darn thing first to make that happen. And save it as... where do I want to save it? I want to save it in bacon seeds, and I'm going to call it XX Snow Vid. There we go, and we'll show you guys that one real quick as well, just so we get that in there, video file, and we'll do that one. And so this is what you don't do here in Alberta in the wintertime, and I know you don't get a lot of snow there, so that's kind of what it is. Let's get back on the media. We'll let that play one more time. Footprints in the snow. You should have made snow angels, though. And that is the most important part. Dress warm and make snow angels. And that'll be cool. Anyway, we'll get those off the screen, you guys. And thank you, Barbara, for sending those in. That is awesome. And Frozen Tootsies is right. You got it, Henry. Anyway, let's take a look and see what we've got happening here. I can make sand angels. Piggy, that is a lot better. Sand angels are good. I used to do the walk in the snow barefooted. Oh boy, that's too cold. You don't want to do that here though, because of, in the cold climate, when you're trying to stay warm, that was something you want to stay warm with, and your feet must stay dry. And if your feet get wet and they get cold, you're done. Trust me, you will end up with, especially if it's minus 20 degrees Celsius or colder, you're basically done. So I understand that. Yeah, big difference between 0 and -20 is exactly it. She made tow angels, Dr. Fox. Thanks, Tom. And yeah, Henry, you're right. In the summer, I get burned feet. Uh-oh. It is never that cold here, Doctor. Okay, no worries, Hermione. Anyway, let's take a look at these earthquakes. This is from 7:10 a.m., 1.9, 29.4 kilometers down. Then we've got a 2.1 from yesterday, 21:14, 33.2 clicks down. This 1.9, 5:01 a.m., 30.1 kilometers down. This guy, 2.3, 4:20 a.m., 32.1 clicks down. This 2.4 from 11:58 a.m., and that is 33.8 kilometers down. And then we've got this one right next to Pahala, 1.8, and that is 8:38 a.m., 32.5 clicks down. Then we'll grab these ones out here in the water first. 2.0 from yesterday, 18:24, 28.9 kilometers down. Then we've got this other one, 2.3, 5 minutes after midnight, 32.4 kilometers down. Working our way up. 2.1 yesterday's from 17:52, 31.3 kilometers down. This guy, 2.0 from today, 5:19 a.m., 34.2 clicks down, and 1.9 from 2:31 a.m., and that is 34.3 kilometers down. We'll leave the other ones over there. We'll go up on the hill here and get up on top to Mauna Loa. Let's grab this straggler first. 2.6, a little bit bigger, 44 minutes after midnight, and that is 4.8 kilometers below sea level. Then the one right in the caldera, 1.9 in magnitude, 3:56 a.m., and that is 1.5 kilometers above sea level, well into the mountain, likely right underneath that caldera. 2.2, 3:02 a.m., 600 meters above sea level for that guy. Then we've got a 1.8 from 8:51, that's only 300 meters above sea level. And then we've got this guy, 1.9 at 7:27 a.m., 1 kilometer above sea level. And that's what we're seeing there on Mauna Loa. And now I'll slide over to Kilauea, and we only see this one on the outskirts here, quite a ways away. That was yesterday's from 23:38, 2.6 kilometers below sea level. We don't see anything else right inside the crater or caldera of Kilauea. And it's unfortunate. I wish we could. Really, it would be awesome to see the levels rise again in that caldera. But that's it for Hawaii. So we can back out a little bit and take a look at some of the other places. We continue to see smaller quakes happening there in Texas. This time they call it New Mexico. I don't know why. And that is... all the other ones are in Texas. How come that one all of a sudden is in New Mexico? Or 58 kilometers. Yeah, I guess it's just... See, that one's called Western Texas, 2.8, and 13 minutes after midnight, 6.1 kilometers down. The other one was from 7:35 a.m., 5 kilometers down for it. So, still happening, still shaking there a little bit. We do see a couple newer ones up here in Alaska. 3.1, 26.5 kilometers down, happened at 2:36 a.m. their time. And he had a friend of 3.0 from yesterday at 22:10, 6.6 clicks down. Going into Central America, we see this one off the coast of Nicaragua, 4.1, and that was at 20:09 and 35 kilometers down from yesterday. Sliding down a little bit more, looking at Chile. And 2.4 in Chile from 3:46 a.m., 121 kilometers down for him. And then that's, of course, a 4.2. This is a 5.0. This was a fairly fresh quake. and that is at 15:17 at their time, and that happened at what was it, 15:17, and 158.1 kilometers down. We also see this guy here on what they call the West Chile rise, and I guess it would be better if it was a west warm rise, but it's chilly there. Anyway, at 4:03 a.m., 10 kilometers down for that guy. Going over and looking at our New Zealand area, we don't see anything in New Zealand itself, but we do follow along on the Kermadec Ridge. We have a couple here. This one is 4.6, 10:41 a.m. today, 103 kilometers down. They're calling it Fiji, but that is very close to Tonga, so that's likely what it is. And this one would be American Samoa Islands, and that is a 4.5 from yesterday, 21:16, 35.4 kilometers down. We have a couple more over here. 4.6 from Fiji, 1:55 a.m., 513 kilometers down for him. And this guy is another 4.5 from 804, and 548 kilometers down for that guy. And going over here, Papua New Guinea 5.0 from yesterday, 2309, and that's what we've got. The grass is frozen, so it can snow. That is not good. Piggy, I think Fluffy is going to look for snowflakes. Yeah. Anyway, going over a little bit more, we see 5.1 here in Indonesia. 6:49 was the time on it, 10 kilometers down for him, and a 4.4 on the other side of the ridge there. And that is from yesterday at 21:22, and that was at 285 kilometers down. This one was only 10 clicks down, so not that big of a deal. Going up here, Taiwan, we see 5.1 from 1849, 72.2 kilometers down, and that was from 1849 at their time. 4.5 here in Japan, 1319 was the time on it, and 61.4 kilometers down. Then we also have a 4.9, and that is from 217 and 53.4 kilometers down for him. And then we've got a 4.2, 8:16 a.m., 163 kilometers down for that guy. And let's take a look at these. And there's one in Kazakhstan, 4.7 from yesterday at 2021, 21.6 kilometers down from him. And this would be in Afghanistan, 4.3, and that is yesterday's as well at 1903, 203 kilometers down for him. We do see one in Greece, and that is a 4.3. That would not affect Piggy. Piggy is over here, and this is way over there. And just so you can see the difference. And yeah, there's Kos over there, and it's way over here. So I don't think Piggy would have even noticed that one. That would have been from 6:31 a.m. and she was likely not sleeping then. 10 kilometers down for that guy. And going up here, we do see another one in Italy, or just off the coast, where that has been quaking for a while. We've seen some of those there before. 4.7 at 22:20 is the time on it, 10 kilometers down. And we see one over here, 4.1, and that's Algeria, or just about Algeria. That's actually in the water, and that is from 4:48 a.m. 10 kilometers down for him. Don't see any other quakes on the map, so that's all right. Let's take a quick peek at our La Palma in the Canary Islands, of course. And we will see if there's anything happening up top here. We see some new ones up here. This one from today at 1429, 3.3, and that 3.3 looks like it's 35 kilometers down on there. Let's get rid of him, and this is 3.7, a little bit bigger. That is yesterday's from 4:53 a.m. 25 kilometers down for that guy. And then this one here, 3.6, yesterday's as well at 7:50 a.m. And of course, that is the East Azores Ridge is where that is stopping. So this is all part of that complex. Let's take a look here. We still see this one in between Gran Canaria and the other island, and that's a 3.1. 17th was the date on it, so I'm not going to worry about that. And we will take a look on La Palma real quick, and for the 20th we don't see anything, so no new quakes for La Palma today, and that's it for those. Let's take a look at our volcano map. I actually was zooming in here to the Kamchatka Peninsula looking for the other one. And we're going to refresh this and see if they've put the other one onto a yellow that they said they were going to do, but I don't know if it's going to be there. I will take a look and see. Oop, I've got to get zoomed in a little bit. And no, we don't see it yet. So there couldn't have been that big of an eruption there. We don't see anything new. So Shivlesh, Bezimiani, and Karimsky are still working. And of course, Ibiko, Chikarachki, and Alaid, their little trio are still down there. And here we got Semi and Takawanga, and then Great Sitkins, Cleveland, and Pavlov. So that is what we've got in that area. Looking at Central America, really no changes there. We do know that these guys are continuing to work away. Navedo and Del Ruz, busy as all get out, and then this Revan Tedor and the Sangay still completely active in that sense. Same as Seven Kaya. These other ones, Navedos, the Chilean volcano, still considered red, so active, and I haven't heard any more from Kopahui, anyway, from that one. Still doing its thing, and of course Taupo and a White Owl volcano still there. Not seeing anything else in between. We do have Tofua and Home Reef volcano still working away. Likely more SO2 coming out of Aoba there in Vanuatu. Yasur, of course, still being red, and this Gawa, if I said it right, and Gawua is still there. I think this one is on here that was yellow before. They've changed something, don't know, that's Bagana, if I said it right, and that's okay. We'll not worry about them. Luolatok is got some shakers right in his area, so that is going to continue to keep that guy erupting. Raun not doing a heck of a lot. Semaru, of course, continuing its SO2 output quite heavily. Merapi is doing its thing. And then we've got Krakatau on the end here. Hasn't picked up any steam or anything like that. Ibu and Dakono still happy, and looking at what we've got here, all volcanoes still working away, but again, we watched it today. We didn't see too much. They do consider it as warning or minor activity, and that is what it is, minor activity, off-gassing. Mayon and Bulusan are still there, as well as is Ken Leon, so I'm not going to worry about him. And then, of course, this one, Ahai, here in the Mariana Islands, are still very kind of doing its thing, considered to be almost active. Why are we slipping that down? There we go. And the Suwanosi Jima there, and the Sakura Jima up there. And let's zoom out a little bit more, and we already looked at the Kamchatka Peninsula. We don't need to look at it again. And Erebus is still down in Antarctica. Don't see any other ones down there. Heard Island volcano still fairly quiet. Piton and Del La Formes still doing its thing right there, so not a big deal, but hopefully it will do some more erupting and we'll get some kind of a picture of what's going on there. Old Doño still working away, and our friends in DR Congo still there. Urta Ale doing its thing, and of course Etna and Volcano Stromboli and Campi still shooting away doing their stuff. So that's it for our volcano map, and that is pretty good. So that is it for there. Next guy on our agenda, of course, is the SO2 map, and I just want to get on that, and we'll refresh that really quickly, and we'll do a brand new one. There we go. And oh, now they put snow on for us tonight. That is cool, and I didn't know that. Snow and then turning to rain at midnight. Kind of weird. But anyway, that is it for right now. I'm going to go take a break. So stick around, you guys. Anna Wallner, welcome. I'm glad to have you on board, and nice to see you, Anna. Okay, I'm going to take that break, you guys. We'll leave you on the canned lava. This is, of course, from last year, and that is Cumbre Vieja in La Palma. I'm your host, DrFox2000. If you haven't hit that like button yet, please help us out. Still trying to get over to that 100 mark. And also, if you're new and you haven't subscribed to the channel sitting on the outside, please go ahead and hit that button and hit that subscribe, turn it to gray from red, and also hit the bell notification while you're there. On that note, I'll be back in 5 or 6 minutes. Don't go away, more to come. Thanks. And that microphone is back on. Welcome or welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching VolcanoX live stream. Thank you, everyone, for sticking around, and we are going to get into our weather stuff pretty quick. And thank you from, let's see, John Raper and Kevin Haynes and Henry Nelson, and I hear you from Sharon Stewart and Sasha saying welcome back. Albert Girl also saying welcome back. Thank you. Appreciate that, you guys. That is awesome. Let's get over, and Mary Jane also says welcome back. Thank you. Let's pop over and take a look at our SO2 map real quick, and we'll run through that really quickly. And Eek, I live too close to his moat. Uh-oh. And don't worry, Hermione, the alligators can't swim across the big water there, or can they? Anyway, I don't know. I don't know what kind of gators he's got, but we'll leave that alone. Looking at what we've got, looks a lot clearer up in the northern portions of Canada and the U.S. up here by Alaska. We still see that stream coming down into the northern parts of Canada, and that's not so good, but it's really pretty much standard stuff that we see here in most of our areas of Canada. I see it twirling around here. Sue is getting a little bit out here in Nova Scotia, as well as New Brunswick. A little heavier SO2 than normal, but not so bad. We do also see this plume in here. Not sure what that's actually from, but we do see a big circulation here, and that is keeping things probably snow and rain and getting cleaning the air out. And another circulation here as well. Hopefully it's doing the same thing, and that is pretty cool. So not bad in North America. We get down here to Mexico. We see some of that is still going out into the Gulf of Mexico. Most of that coming from, of course, our Popocatépetl, as well as Mexico City, and the rest is just people pollution for the most part. Some of this is volcanic, and others is people pollution again. Looking here in Colombia, we do know that this Reverend, what is it? Reverend Dador, I don't know. Yeah, Del Ruz. Anyway, he's still working away. We see that SO2 in that whole area. Nothing coming off of the Galapagos Islands. Not as much coming here from, of course, that is Sabancaya, and there's a quick picture of it, just so you can see, and we'll just run that through real quick so we can see if it is off-gassing. Don't see too much coming out of Sabancaya there today, so pretty quiet that way. Sliding down a little bit more, not as much coming out of Chile either, and very clean looking in those other areas. So Argentina and southern Brazil and those areas, Uruguay, Paraguay, they're all looking pretty good. Just people pollution for the most part. Sliding over, actually, I want to zoom out, just check the bottom here. Sometimes we get some funky stuff going on there and we miss it if we don't check. And New Zealand, White Isle volcano doing its thing, and very little coming off. I don't know if you've ever noticed it, but on Sundays there's less plume coming off of the refineries here, so they must shut down for Sundays. Anyway, the coking plants north of Sydney don't, though, and we can tell that. Tofua out here in Tonga still doing its thing, and as mentioned earlier, we obviously we have Yasur here, and then up in this area we have Aoba, and Aoba is continuing to throw out a lot of SO2. Pretty standard there in Papua New Guinea, and nothing really super different here in Indonesian area. We know Semeru is right down here, and that is what's responsible for most of this. Merapi would be right about there. Krakatau over here at Jakarta making more than Merapi, or sorry, more than Krakatau. Ibu and Dakono working together to make that plume, and a lot less coming from Mayon and Bulusan here. We do still have quite a bit of stuff coming in this area, and most of it is population related. But you do have Taal volcano right there in Taal Lake, so that some of that could be from there. And looking at Taiwan, pretty standard. China, very dirty. And looking at what we see, Suwanoshi-jima cranked it up a little bit again today, same as Sakura-jima. So a lot of SO2 from that volcano. Going up here into the Kamchatka Peninsula, we do see all kinds of streams coming off of it, and that of course coming down into the Pacific and then being redirected through some of the winds. Lots up here in Russia, and that is coming from China going up there. We do see they cranked it up a bit there. Probably a lot of heat trying to be generated there in India, since the temperatures were down a bunch. So they probably got furnaces and heaters and stoves and stuff working away. Anyway, looking South Africa, still see the mines are still using the gold refineries there, and then of course very heavy here in DR Congo, 2 volcanoes and the coking plants as well. Same thing with what we're seeing here. Well, Erta Ale would be right in here, very hard to see it, very little coming from it. But we do see quite a bit from Saudi Arabia, the refineries. Same thing with the refineries here in Iraq and Kuwait, as well as down here on the coast of Saudi Arabia and Iran. I do believe that is a refinery up there as well. And looking at what we've got from Etna, looks like Etna produced a little bit more SO2 than it did yesterday. Not so much coming from a Stromboli or a Volcano. So that is kind of the SO2 report for today. We don't see anything coming off of Iceland. Very clean and nice. Let's go over to our weather map. I do have to refresh that, and we'll get right into it. And I'll see if we can shorten this as much as possible, and not worry about too much of the really cold stuff. We do see up here in Nunavut that we have down to a minus 36, 37 in some spots, 38 I see, and maybe even a little bit colder depending on where you are. Looks like not bad in most of Alaska. The shoreline here, of course, a lot warmer. Same thing with British Columbia. Looking at Alberta, you can see the warmer air, +1, +2 for the most part, 0 in some places. It says on my computer it's +3 here in Edmonton. Bottom end of Saskatchewan is a little bit warmer than the top portions, but still all in the negative temperatures. And then of course Manitoba very cool, and looking at northern Ontario going into Quebec, very, very cold. And we know the lake effect snowstorms are still continuing down here, and of course Buffalo being right there. So that is, you see these wind drifts going through. So all this area, and it's not just Buffalo that's getting that snow, they're also getting it on the Canadian side, and of course all the way over around Rochester as well, places like that. So that's what we're seeing today. And going up a little bit, looking at Newfoundland, Labrador, in the low 20s up there at the top end. A little warmer down on the bottom, but still not that nice. We do have a couple lows sitting here, making the weather bad and 0 degrees at Cole Harbor for Sioux, and that's what we've got there. Looks like the bottom end of the peninsula here, looking at 9 degrees, which is a lot warmer. So they are getting the tropical temperatures rather than over here in Nova Scotia. Looking at the U.S. real quick, western coast, a lot warmer today again. And of course, we are checking it at a different point in time. So Eugene, 6 degrees. 8 degrees. Portland is 6 or 7, sliding down a little bit more. We see San Jose 17 degrees, Los Angeles 22 degrees. So that'd be about 73, 74 degrees Fahrenheit. That's not bad. And Death Valley coming in at 21 degrees or 69 degrees Fahrenheit. And thanks, Sue. 21 in Mexicali, and about 1920 in Phoenix, sliding down to Tucson, 17. And then we see the cutoff point there where it's a lot cooler in northern portions of Arizona, getting into New Mexico and Texas. A lot of the areas are pretty darn cold, and they are down in the single digits for the most part Celsius scale. 10 in Houston, that is quite chilly. San Antonio only 8 today. Dallas coming in at about 7, so not so warm there. And looking at what we got here, Louisiana and Mississippi and Alabama, we see the northern portions quite cold, and even up here in Atlanta, fairly cold, and then getting all in the single digits down here too. Wow. Warm spots today, of course, would be down here 22 degrees, Miami 22, and 22, 23 on the bottom end of Florida, but cold for everybody else on the eastern side here. Grandma B's house, about 3 degrees Celsius, that'd be about 37 Fahrenheit. That's not very warm. Baltimore -1, Philadelphia -2, New York -1 or 2, depending on where you're looking. Boston coming in at -1 as well. Halifax was about 0 degrees. So not so good for those guys. Taking a quick look at Mexico, we see the Baja areas a little bit warmer, 29 in some of those places along the coast here. Acapulco coming in at about 27, 28. A lot warmer than what it was. Only 26 in Cancun. We have this nasty storm system sitting in here though, and that's going to mess up their weather. And we see all kinds of different circulations here, so lots of stuff happening. Going down into Brazil, they are still getting a bunch of that warm weather from the daytime highs, and we see 30 degrees in some places on the western side of Brazil, and of course Bolivia and Paraguay and northern portions of Argentina are faring fairly well. Uruguay actually doing pretty good too. The cooler place there must be higher elevation or something. Where that high is sitting, Sao Paulo 18, Rio de Janeiro only 21. Sliding down to the bottom end here, we see some cold starting to come through the mountains, but 16, 17, up to 19 in some spots. Chile, of course, is Chile. And sliding over to New Zealand, they do have warmer temperatures on the eastern side of the South Island, and it looks like the North Island a little bit on the warmer side than the South Island, but higher elevations again, a little bit on the cooler side. Same thing goes for over here, the west side. With that low, I bet you they're getting a ton of rain there. And looking at Tasmania, things have got a lot colder from what it was. Only coming in at 10 degrees here in Hobart, and 1 degree somewhere in the outback areas of Tasmania. Not so warm. Leo's place, I only am making it to 11 or 12 degrees. that is fairly cold. 22 in Sydney, and home of Oz getting in at 28 degrees Celsius, so that is actually a bonus for her. And of course 17 over here in Perth. Just checking some of the hotter temperatures here, and seeing 34 degrees there in the northern portions. I don't think there's anything warmer than 34 right now in northern Australia. Looking over here, Fiji area, and those areas 28, 29 degrees. Not so bad for them, and that includes Tonga and those areas. And going up here, Papua New Guinea, not bad for their temperatures, and going over towards our Indonesian area, we see a low here that's trying to draw up some colder air for them, but we do see those temperatures are reasonable, but on the cool side for those guys. They aren't normally that bad. Sue brought up Bangkok showing 27 degrees Celsius. It shows 25 on the map here, but that's all right. That is probably very close. 97W is that storm that's sitting in here. We'll see where that goes, and that may be heading inland, but we'll see. Manila coming in at about 28 degrees, so they've got a relatively normal temperatures. And seeing a little cooler stuff here in Taiwan even, and down on the bottom end of Japan we see 19, 17 depending on where you are. Then once you get just past Osaka here, it looks like it's starting to head down into single digits, and it is. Coastal areas keeping a little bit warmer, but it definitely is cooling off there. Not bad. Well, same thing up in the top here, so we do see that Japan cooling off. This big high here is probably not helping any. And of course there's your Kamchatka Peninsula. You see some very cold spots there. You don't want to get into it. And of course out here we see 37, 38, 40 below zero, and that is very, very cold. And I bet you they are going to get close. I see a minus 42 in a couple spots there. That is not so warm. That's northern Russia for you. Skipping over India, I'm not going to worry about it. We do see a little bit of cool weather down here in South Africa. Cape Town coming in at about 17 today. That's not bad. That low sitting here, possibly creating some storms for Madagascar, but we'll see what happens once we get to our precipitation map. And of course you see most of the Sahara is still cool on the northern portions. The bottom stuff here, of course, Central Africa a little bit warmer, pretty normal for this time. And Yemen anywhere from about 19 to 24 degrees, and looking at Oman, it's kind of the same thing, 24 in the hot spots. Even Dubai coming in at 26, but we do see lower temperatures out in the other areas, so things are cooling off there. And of course the other side, the coastal areas and the waterways and that, they keep that pretty warm, but we're seeing a lot of cooler temperatures for the most part. Cairo only coming in at about 16 today, and Baghdad 14 or 15, and looking at Iran, I ran away from that place. It's too cold. And Turkey, eastern part of Turkey is not so good, but the western part is looking pretty good, 20 degrees in Istanbul. And looking at what we see down here, Crete looks pretty warm for the most part, and Piggy's house is going to be about 20 or 21 degrees right now. We'll find that out really quick, and just to punch that in, and we'll take a look at there. We do know that they are getting some storms in this area as well, but that is okay. And yep, 20 degrees Celsius for Piggy right now. a lot cooler there in Sicily, hence the snowing on Mount Etna. And the same thing goes with most of Italy, down to single digits. And unless you're right at the coast, a little bit warmer. 3 degrees in Milano today. That's the coldest I've seen it so far. And New Irish Monkland here, Sardinia, definitely cooled off a bunch as well. Same thing with Spain, looking a lot colder. Luckily, Portugal is not so bad on the outsides here, towards the coastal areas, but the further inland you go, the cooler you get. Same thing goes with the coastal areas here in France, a little bit warmer, but they are experiencing single digits as well, most of them being in the lower portions. And looking at Munich, München, 4 grad, 4 degrees there, and Frankfurt 5 degrees, Cologne coming in at 7, getting up to Hamburg -3, Berlin -2, and of course some of those areas up in the northern portions of Holland are quite cold. We do see that warm area down on the south end here, but that is maybe keeping Belgium a little bit warmer, and definitely a 5-6 degrees type thing there in Luxembourg, and even cold up here in Denmark, and we're seeing a -1 in Copenhagen, and Oslo coming in at -2, Stockholm coming in at 0, Riga about a -4, St. Petersburg -7. I don't even want to know what Moscow is. Oh, yes, I do. -4. There we go. Looking at England, again, they've got that warm stream blowing in here. Hopefully that'll help warm them up a little while. And the coastal areas down on the bottom here are looking a lot better, but still quite cold for low single digits in most of England. You get up into Scotland, we start to see zeros, and they will likely get some snow. I heard somebody mention that up in the highlands they are starting to see snowfall on the hills. This low sitting here, don't know where it's going to go yet, but right now it is pulling that warmer air up, and places like Doolin is probably about 8 degrees Celsius, so not so bad. Northern areas of Sweden, Norway, and Finland are -20, 21, depending on where you're going. And that warmer air being pulled up, of course, is being countered by this low pulling down the colder air, and not quite as warm in Reykjavik today, only 4 degrees Celsius. And if you want to go visit Ragnar, you're probably about 4 degrees Celsius as well. Let's pop that over to precipitation real quick, and we won't spend a lot of time on that. We don't see, oh, hang on, what happened? There we go. We don't see too much up in the northern portions here. We do see the interior of British Columbia getting some snow, and then of course all the way along the coastal area, a lot of snow happening, and Manitoba, northern Ontario, and of course here in Hudson's Bay they are getting nailed, and then of course lake effect snow around the Great Lakes. We see this. It is still actually Buffalo is not bad, but they've got another system coming by them that'll drop another couple of inches for them, just to keep them happy. And we see this other stuff moving upward, and it will probably move out here, dissipate, and run out of steam, hopefully, and that'll be better for them. Looking at the rest of the U.S., looks pretty dry, with the exception of what we're seeing down here in Texas, and that is a high sitting there, even though we've got a bunch of rain happening north of Austin, really, for the most part. It's not that bad. Going over here, though, looking at the warmer temperatures that they have there in Florida is nice, but we see a lot of rain happening, and that is not good for them. And here's that low that I was referring to. That's going to turn into another storm. That's actually drawing in all that stuff. So I'm not sure where these storms are going to go. Typically they head to the northeast up here, but we'll see what happens. And Mexico and Central America still stormy. Pretty normal here in South America, Amazon, and so on. And here's some of the rain coming into places like Bolivia and Paraguay and northern Argentina, a little bit into Uruguay, but not anything too bad. Sliding over real quick to New Zealand, and as I suspected, that low was pulling all that air in and drawing it down right along the coast of the South Island, giving them a lot of rain. North Island is actually receiving some of that rain as well, since that thing has built up a pretty good ridge line. And here in Tasmania, no wonder it's so cold and snowing in some spots. There we go, and Leo's not having a good day. Is that what I'm seeing? Snow? Snow in Australia? It is snowing in Australia. Oh my God. Somebody get the 6 white boomers ready. It is snowing in Australia. Isn't it late spring for them? It's just about time to throw crops in the ground and they get snow? What the heck? Yep, world weather is wacky. I do see a little bit of rain up north of Brisbane, nothing too severe, and Perth a little bit okay there, but we do see the rains up in the top end of Australia. That's fine. And looking here into our Malaysian, Indonesian, and Philippine area, we do see lots of storms here. 97W, again, I don't know which way that's going to go, if that's going to make landfall here or not, but definitely going to do something for those guys. And looking at the Philippines, we see they've got lots of stormy weather as well. Looks like not too much in Taiwan. We see this in Japan, though. They are getting a bunch of rain there. North Korea and into China, as well as in the bottom end of Russia here. Some more snow, and Kamchatka Peninsula, of course, getting its bit of snow as well. Sliding over a little bit more, we do see down here on the bottom, they are getting a lot of water here in Tasmania. I'll think of it, hang on. Nah, boy, it's not coming to mind. Madagascar. It happens. Anyway, southern end, not bad, but of course our rainforest areas, rainy season is upon us, so that's what they're seeing. Going up a little bit more, looking at what we see here. Piggy might get some rain. No? Maybe. Some of these clouds might sneak out far enough to get Kos wet again, and we'll see what happens. But here's some nasty storms for the rest of Greece, and going up a little bit more. Same thing with what we're seeing right here in the Sicily and Italy, bottom end of Italy, getting nailed. Still raining in the western portions of Sardinia, or New Irish Monkland. And here's this nasty stuff in, wow, we see it in Spain as well as northern Portugal. And going up here a little bit more, we of course expect to see snow in the Alps. And Germany is got a bunch of snow in different places as well. So 'tis the season, and some ice rain in some areas. Snow in Holland, and there you go. So that is definitely doing its thing. Judy McClellan, welcome. I didn't see you sneak in there, but good to have you on board. and they are getting some rain here in Belgium as well, a little bit in Luxembourg, nothing too serious. So, and here's that nasty low. I don't know where that's going to go, but if that moves in this way, Ireland is going to get it, and that is going to be a pretty nasty thing. And then if that goes, it will also affect England fairly soon. Looking at northern portions here, Denmark is getting some snow as well. Looks like Oslo isn't, but just on the outskirts it is, and Sweden, definitely Stockholm getting 5-6 centimeters. That's pretty nasty for them. And going up here, seeing that other low, bringing all that stuff up. And there you go, a bunch of snow, and Iceland doesn't surprise me, and some more rain for the Reykjanes Peninsula and Reykjavik itself. So there you go, and that is pretty much it for the weather. Nasty looking. I'm going to put this back on temperatures, and we will take a look and see if we can find our coldest spot on the planet today. And I found minus 53 already, but let's see what else we can find. There's going to be something a little colder than that. Minus 50. Oh, I found the minus 54 right there. Anything colder? And looking for minus 55. No, don't see it. I'm going to settle with minus 54 degrees Celsius today. And Sue says, Dr. Fox, coldest temp I found in Antarctica, minus 54 Celsius. And that is it. Warm day in Antarctica. Yes, it is quite warm. And I guess we have to go feed the penguins together. All right. So still send blankets for your favorite penguins. They do need them. It's still very, very cold there, regardless. And that is it for the show today, you guys. And thank you. It's a tie. It's awesome. That's cold enough. You bet, Henry. It is plenty cold. And we'll leave that be. Let's put this back on our canned lava, and we'll wrap up the show. Pretty easy to run through this real quick. We had two single one gift memberships from David Crook as gifts, and then one from Kevin Haynes, and then Johnny Gonzalez threw in a $1 super chat. And that is it for today, you guys. And that's all she wrote. So thank you very kindly, everyone, for being here. A wonderful lava family. And again, thank you all. Appreciate all of you. Thank you, Dr. Fox. And a good night to everyone from Mary Jane. And thanks, Kevin Haynes and the mods. And yes, thank you, moderators. Arizona Snowman, Piggy, Gary, 24/7 Live, he's at Skies, C&D Boy, and of course those others that might be in the background, like Joseph or Lucas or anyone. But anyway, that's it. Thanks, guys. Thanks, moderators, and thank you, everyone in the Lava family. You guys are all awesome. Yes, I see you peeking there, Arizona Snowman, and no worries. You're peeking out. That's that new peaking thing. And be good, be kind, take care of yourselves, and for the most part, don't ever forget, please tell your loved ones that you love them tonight, for tomorrow is never promised. I'm your host, Dr. Fox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. We'll see everyone tomorrow night at the regular time. Tomorrow's Monday, so we're back to normal weekday times. Good night, everyone. Take care, and oink oink.